always comes to moments like this when it's like speak about non-duality and the mind just goes, what could be said? Also, it just says what could be said. I don't even know how to talk about this. Everything I say fails. Everything, even if I were to say there's nobody speaking, or who's there to know how to talk about this, or it's coming from nothing or emptiness. It really fails it. How can I possibly put into words this, what is? Or how can I possibly talk about non-separation, not two-ness? It's like a dance, a poetic dance, because you're using words that are in opposite to try and point to something that's not opposite. So basically, just wrapped up in a short version, the human suffers because it looks for something else than this. But all it's ever been taught is to seek for something else than this. So it looks in thoughts, in mind activity, in objects to try and find something else than this. And that's what society and other humans have taught it. And so it lives in this mental reality of me looking for something better. Where originally, before the concepts and the ideas started, there was just aliveness, just beingness. There was everything and nothing. And it didn't belong to anyone. And there wasn't anyone there that realised they didn't have enough and had to find more. But then as the human mind or the human intellect increases, an energetic sense comes of this is me and I'm incomplete and I need to find something else. I don't know why that sensation of feeling not enough comes. It could be a conditioned thing that happens in society. It could just be something that happens in the human. I don't know why. Ultimately, the real answer is for nothing. It comes because of nothing. In the made-up world of humans, we could try and give it a story. But this imagining appears, and then it's always imagining something better than this, and that's so obvious that will happen. It imagines something better than this, because the human has this creative mind that can think and perceive. It thinks, okay, I'm this body, that makes sense, I'm this body, it always seems to move around with me, I am this body, I'm limited to this body, and I need to improve my environment. My mission is to improve my environment, to look for food and shelter and water and a lover and to reproduce and to make it as good as possible. And it gets so insane in the human world. It gets, I've got to make it better than my neighbour. I've got to make it better than people I don't even know, and I've got to show people that I'm better. Even in enlightenment, I've got to show people I'm enlightened. I've got to show people I'm better than them. I've got to be all these things. And the focus stays on this mind activity. Just like it's just a functioning that happens. So in the animal kingdom, if a dog is, living in a field with lots of rabbits, it will become really good at hunting rabbits and really effective at chasing rabbits. And if you suddenly got it chasing kangaroos, it wouldn't be as effective as it is in rabbits. And that's exactly what happens in this me energy. It just becomes focused completely in this mental reality in time. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And it's always agitated in a way. It's always got to be moving and got to be looking for something better than this. Better, 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 better. But I can't prove this to you. And while that personal energy's there, it's going to seem like that's the truth. Even enlightenment would be better than this. And the freedom is in the future. Future, future, future. And while that personal energy's there, it veils this love and this freedom that's right now. The beingness, the freedom of what's appearing. And it makes it feel not good enough and uncomfortable. It can feel incredibly uncomfortable. You can't ever find the discomfort. It seems to be in the body, but you can never find it. It's not like the body. It's this invisible thing that seems to be happening of discomfort and thoughts of why you're discomfort, whose fault it is. It's my fault, it's his fault. It's because I haven't got a lover. It's because my mother's an asshole. It's because my boyfriend didn't do the washing up. It's because Lisa takes so fucking long to get going on Ustream, and I've only got a certain amount of hours and I need to go to sleep by 9 o'clock. And this mental reality seems like it's a truth, and it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, just like the dog in a field of rabbits. It gets better and better at hunting the rabbits. The same with the human, this me energy of me, my life, and the world out there, and my search for betterhood begins. Gets stronger and stronger, until it gets to a point where it's completely living in this mental reality, which is an energetic thing of feeling inside this body. And all it's about is getting. The body naturally moves towards pleasure. The body is designed to move towards pleasure, so it's not designed to sit in the freezing cold if inside the house there's a fire. It's designed to move towards pleasure. But that's just how the body's working. It's not the truth. The person's taken that movement towards pleasure as an absolute truth. This movement towards pleasure is it. This movement towards pleasure is my happiness. It's just the way the body functions. The body has nice clothes or nice environment, nice drink, nice food. It doesn't pick dog turd to live in and to eat. The human becomes so complicated of all these things it's got to do to find it. And the idea of not having all these things to do is really scary. The idea of endless time without any passion or without any drive to get things is scary. That's depression. That's what society tells us is depression, not having passion. Happiness is excitement, is getting things, is doing things, is having drive. It's not just being. Just being is depression, is bad. Not feeling the need to tell people hundreds of stories or to please other people or to be really exciting or to be really chatty is depression. That's bad. Happiness is excitement and vitality and laughter and loads of chatting and high life and doing things. There's all these ideas, these expectations. And then it can come scary, beginning to question that passion, beginning to question that drive for the future. Because that's what you've been told happiness is, freedom is, security is. Even in these talks, the mind most probably thinks freedom's in the future. It doesn't understand that it will lose everything and then it will just be being again, just life appearing. And the body naturally moves towards pleasure and away from pain. It's just being. It's just life appearing. There's not the idea of what it should be. It is as it is. Life is just let to be as it is. Not by someone, just the absence of somebody trying to resist it and make it something anymore. What could be better? You think you know what's better than this? In a way, what arrogance to think you know what's better than this. You think you know what good and bad is. We go into, Western societies go into third world countries to help them, and Western societies have the highest rate of depression. We go to sell consumerism and to sell the right for passion, and yet we have the highest rate of depression. No, I think I might have got tangled in the words then. Sometimes my mind doesn't work so well anymore. Easy oozy. She's gonna crash in a minute. Easy oozy. Easy oozy. Easy oozy. Quick fix of the cutie. Hooty hooty. Hooty hooty. Cutie hooty. She's off. So the mind's like, okay, all right, Lisa, what you say sounds rational. Now, how do I get there? That's just the same movement it's been your whole life. How do I get there? What do I do to get this? How do I buy it? What effort do I have to put to get this, to end the suffering? What effort do I have to put? You don't even know who you are, let alone the efforts you have to put. You don't even know how the body moves. You don't know how it sees or hears. Scientists explain you feeble ideas to explain it. You don't know how speaking happens. Well, I squeeze my voice box. You don't know how thinking happens. You don't know how digestion happens. You don't know how or where any of it's coming from. Yet you sit there and ask, how do I get there, Lisa? How do I do this? You don't know how the trees blow in the wind, or where the wind comes from, or where the light comes from. So what is it that I'm suggesting you get to? It's not you that gets there, but just what happens is there's a collapse, and then there's just being, but being that's innocent. And then the intellect appears when it needs to appear, which is not that often. And it's not something that the world's seen through anymore, it's just as it is. But all I talk about the intellect and mind and thoughts, it's all this energy thing though. It's like a energetic contraction. It's not just ideas and thoughts, it's lame in a way, me always picking up on ideas and thoughts and stories, because why it's lame is because it makes it more explainable for you guys to understand. It's a bit lame me keep harping on like that. Mostly it's this energetic contraction, inside outside. Even saying that's lame. I'm putting it into words and then you think you've understood something. But this is most probably too stark for the majority of you, too naked. I mean, maybe not. There's only 80 people that are here. Maybe you guys are okay with this language, but for a lot of people this is so naked, it is just too scary or annoying or impossible to understand. This isn't about you doing it, but you've never been doing it. That's your lie. Okay, right. So another 40 people have come since I said this message. So today I'm going to do things a bit differently because last Wednesday when I did a talk, it was just so busy I couldn't keep up, and I just found it too hard to deal with all the phone calls. So I love it when people call in, but this time could you call me, and I will call you when I'm ready. So send me a message in Skype saying call me. And I'm going to have it on red the whole evening so none of us have to listen to the beeping. Although no, I'll have it on red some of the time so none of us have to listen to the beeping. When I'm talking to someone, I'll have it on red and then I'll just have it on silent so it doesn't have to be beep, beep, beep all the time. And when you do call in, or when you do call in, I prefer if it was more questions. I understand that sometimes it's hard to get the question out, so you have to tell stories, but not too many stories. The last couple of weeks have been, I'm not even listening. I mean, it's hopeless telling me the stories. I just zone out. And then my body's very good at just laughing and smiling and nodding at the right times, making it seem like I'm listening. I'm sorry, guys, I'm hopeless. I can listen to short stories and short questions, but most of it, I'm sorry, it's just not of interest to me anymore. I'm not an asshole. She doesn't listen to us. That's the way it is. Yeah, so just write in Skype, call me. And if you're new to this completely, then the best way to ask me questions is through Skype, because on Ustream you only get like 10 words or something, and my Skype is Lisa Cairns 12. Also, if you're new with like the ads and everything, to get rid of the ads you can pay Ustream to get rid of them. You can upgrade to a pro account or something, or you can, what else can you do? You can, oh yeah, download ad blocker. You need to download the ad blocker for your specific computer, so PC or Mac, and specific web browser. And I've heard it's best with Google Chrome. So, and then you need to open Ustream in that. Okay, to the questions. And so you can just send me a oh, what was I going to say? You can send me what? I don't know. Lisa, please come back. Hello, Jenny. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Ramon. Hi, Lisa. Bon appetit. There's a funny typo in your website on the Help Lisa section. You lost the A on non-duality. And it appears like non-duality. Too much. The next step, Lisa. Do you have headphones? Yep. Just exists enough. Love. And play like little kids. Fear. Woohoo. You can call me. Headphones? I don't know if you need headphones or not. Maybe. Like non-duality. Hello? Too much. The next step, Lisa. Do you have headphones? Yeah. Hello, I'm this voice here. You've got to turn the volume off Ustream. Hello?
Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Wow, you've got a bit of a freaky voice.
It's the word that my neck is setting on.
I can't even hear what you're saying because your voice is so distorted. It's like you're in a big room that's echoing.
Let me see it. It's better now. Well, I don't have a
Woo!
question.
Woo! It's quite fun. It's quite a funny sound it's making.
Well, I don't have a question.
It's not going to work like this, my sweet. You need to, I think, headphones. I don't know why.
Let me see. Is this total? Hi?
Hello?
Is this total?
I can't really hear what you're saying. You need to have headphones. There's something wrong with your microphone.
Let me see. Okay. Sounds settings. And now?
Hello?
Is it started? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's really distorted. Maybe you can try it out by yourself, and then I'll call you back later.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Francisca. Hi, Jahash. Hi, Lisa. I'd like to call in at some point. Let me know when's good time. Not sure how long you'll be on for, but I leave for work at 3. Thanks. Just realised that means 8 o'clock for you, I think. No worries if you didn't get time to call. Hi, Megan.
Hello. Wait. Okay, I muted Ustream. Does that work?
Yeah.
Great. First of all, thank you for doing what you do. Okay, my question. Hello. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I turned the Ustream back on. This is a little confusing.
Yeah.
But okay, so I wanted to ask about something that I saw in a video that you did. I have no idea when.
Yeah.
But I was watching a video called Death on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you said something about the imagery of angels, and it was similar to something that I read in I Am That by Maharaj about the bridge between awareness and I guess the human consciousness. That's the language that he uses, the supreme pure awareness and the consciousness of the person.
Yeah.
So I guess what it seemed is that, and you said one wing and everything and one wing and nothing, and, you'd say that, so you're in the middle at all times?
Is that the question?
Yeah. Like, is that your experience now, that you are in the middle, whereas we kind of, I don't know, just get caught up in human consciousness without the awareness that we are the supreme?
Yeah. It's kind of a hard question because I don't know where I am. It's funny. I can only know where I am in comparison to a before, which is a funny thing again.
Right.
So I can only know it in comparisons to the before of when Elisa used to suffer.
Okay.
I think it's really beautiful, like that quote about the angel having a wing in both worlds, like nothing and everything. I think that was something along the lines of what I said.
Uh-huh.
And but I don't really know where I am. I only know where I am in comparison, which kind of is a funny thing to think of.
True.
Like I know in comparison to before, isn't it really funny because you think beforehand that you'll get to a place where you'll know something, and that you'll get to a place at least, But you can only know a place in comparison to something else, which is the same way that the me starts. I am
Like
this,
understanding something.
therefore you are that. So I am this body, therefore you are that body. And then comparison in time, I was this and now I'm that. So I was lost in delusion and suffering and now I don't. It's just kind of the same mechanism. It's the
Right.
same way of thinking. So I suppose the only answer I can really say, which is really it feels like the most free answer, is I don't know where I am. That's a really unsatisfying answer, though. I know where I am in comparison to something that came before, but
But that's
then,
not knowing it intellectually, right?
yeah, that's only intellectual. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I'm kind of
That's it.
lost. Isn't that really funny? Because that would sound terrible.
No, it is great. You know, I mean, I'll check out soon because it's not as if I have another question because all of them are super pointless to ask. But I've been on like a kick of Lisa Karen's videos recently, and another quote that you said about being drawn to like we're all just flies being drawn to those things that's exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
You know, it's as if I feel like I need to like purge all this nervous personal like energy.
Yeah, and you can't help being drawn that way. Like you couldn't choose to, because it's kind of a really weird subject anyway. And where does that momentum come from? That's just from Ustream. It's an ad. And
Yeah,
where would
I'll just close Ustream in
yeah,
general.
it's funny. But where would it come? Where would that urge to do it come from? And why doesn't it appear in all humans? It just seems to appear suddenly in some. You can give them the same information 10 years before and no interest, and then suddenly, boom,
Right.
and we're drawn towards the light, and then in coming towards the light we disappear.
Yeah, because we had no choice, and there's no. Yeah, it's amazing how tough I feel that is to. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter all that much because I think of sometimes like explaining this to people. I've spoken recently with like my brother and sister about it, and you know, you have no choice. You tell someone that they have no choice, they're like, "What do you mean? Of course I do."
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, it's not the message for them, or it's not.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you tell some people, and it's like, yeah, and it really resonates. But why and how it's all working, God knows. Why some resonate with it and some don't.
Well, I'll let somebody else go, but thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Megan. Nice to speak with you.
You too.
Bye.
I'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah, bye. Nice.
Bye-bye.
I like talking with people about non-duality. Okay, Roland. Hi, Roland. Hi, Ricarda. I think I see you next week, don't I, Ricarda? I saw your name down for Greece. Woohoo! Hi, F King. Pretty earrings you've got today. Ah, thank you. They're made of shells. Mariana. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for your talks. I have a question. I noticed that a speaker like Tony Parsons says that a speaker using the concepts of awareness is in reality developing an idea of Sukha ego, the ego persisting through this idea of being aware. A speaker like Rupert Spira talking about awareness says almost the same about those who use the concept of everything, nothing, says that they're in duality, they're in duality, sorry, and that they keep the existence of objects through the concept of things, and that it is a subtle strategy of the ego. In one way or another, it seems like all speakers look at other speakers as well-hidden me's or persons. Aren't they all historical ways of saying, knowing that there's no such thing as history but that words and concept change? Awareness is confusing because it has to be thought out of the idea of something being aware or an object of being aware. But how can you describe what's happening and distinguish it from what is not happening now out of the concept of awareness? Besides, Besides, once awareness is removed as a confusing tool, aren't there other tools confusing as well? What is energy? It seems to be taken from objective science like physics. Thank you, M. I perceive that I'll be disconnected when you answer because I must work, but I'll listen coming back home tonight. Hope you've answered anyway. Well, this is a nice question. I like the fact that you've seen that. It's I meet so many people that listen to Tony Parsons, or I don't mean to or Rupert Spira, because you brought those two names up, and then they think that that speaker's right. I've got the right teacher. I've got the best teacher, and they love it when teachers say other things about other teachers, because then they're like, oh yeah, my teacher's right, your teacher's wrong, and I am higher. And it's just a game. If you're listening to awareness teachings, the body's listening to awareness teachings. There's nobody in there doing it. If it's listening to everything nothing teachings, or no I teachings, or stick your head up your bum teachings, or sit on one finger teachings, and that's what it's doing. No big deal. That's what's happening. It's appearing and disappearing. It's appearing and disappearing. We should make a rap out of that. Appearing, disappearing. And that's what's happening. It appears, it disappears. It starts nowhere, it ends nowhere. There's no cause and effect. Where could anything begin? Where's the effect of anything? It's all one endless movement, which isn't happening at the same time. And who gives a fuck what all the teachers say? This teacher says that, this teacher says that. It's just the mind playing in games. You know what happened here? This is just a story which is bullshit. And this is really funny. When the collapsing happened here, what I saw was everyone being awakened. And it was always a surprise to me when people suffered. And it's funny because sometimes I listen to all these different concepts and it's like, I have my preference. I'm a negative speaker, so I have the preference of taking away, taking away, taking away. I don't think it's better, but it's my preference. And it always surprises me how all the speakers look, and always assume people aren't, which I kind of get as well, because after like 4 years of teaching and speaking about it now, more than likely if someone's coming to speak to you, although all those other teachers aren't, yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Oh dear, I don't know. Hi,
Hello.
Anna.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, finally!
Wow.
Because last time we had a problem
Yeah.
communicating, you couldn't hear me. I'm so happy you can. I wanted really to ask you about the thing is that I slowly for moments had this glimpse of understanding
Yeah.
that what I believe to be is not me, and those concepts are beginning to fall apart away
they disappear by themselves. However, I am not successful in understanding about the others. Like, I still see other people as other separate people that sometimes are threatening. Sometimes I need to, behave in a certain way, socially, because I feel like I'm very weird, and I have the feeling that people see me as, like, people feel that something is going on with me.
Yeah.
That's my sensation, because I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm trying to be nice and just to smile, and I don't really have much to say. But I'm in this state of not fear, but I'm kind of worried about it, because I understand that there is something wrong with me, not what I believe to be me, which is okay because that's the truth. Like, because it's not true what I believe to be the truth. But I still don't, I don't know, I wondered if you could talk about that, about this belief. Like, I don't believe in myself anymore, but I believe in the others.
But who's it that doesn't believe in itself?
Well, it's this feeling of not connected with what I feel.
Not what?
Not being really in contact. Like, I don't believe myself. I understand it's only a thought.
But who understands that?
I wouldn't know. It's just kind of attention, or this ability to perceive and to identify myself with something.
You don't actually know that you don't exist or that you exist. All there is what's happening. You could say it's not a perceiver, but there is this, what is. And then you don't know what's happening in what is. And as the ideas crumble, then it's not that you understand it. Yeah. It's just there's less focus on that personal entity. So there's less personal energy there. But it's not that you understand it. But it might feel like you understand it. But the question then comes back to who thinks it understands that, because that's the thought afterwards. That's the interpretation of it. And that again is in mental activity of somebody that knows something, which isn't a problem. That's just something that comes up and describes it. But there's just less and less activity in that personal. This is me. This is me, and I'm bad and I'm wrong, and they are bad and they're wrong, or whatever the stories are. There's less energy going into that. And with the others, that will crumble when it crumbles. Well, the person still feels like it's got to get love from others, which the personal energy is all about getting love. Then when it's in front of other body mind mechanisms, it will be imagining what the other body mind mechanism thinks of them, how much it likes them, what it's got to be like to please the others, and that will dissolve when it dissolves. But that's the personal entity. The personal entity is always seeking for love. Whatever situation it goes into, that's what it does. And the biggest one is with other human beings and with money.
Because I really have the feeling, if I really understand that everything that is coming is just happening in this consciousness, therefore there's no really me that I can grab on, I would understand the same thing about other people.
But it's not an understanding, you see. It's not that you've got to really understand it. How could you really understand it? Understanding is coming and going. It's appearing and disappearing. A thought appears and says, I understand there is no me, and it disappears. But it's appearing and disappearing into this boundless freedom. And what happens is the energy changes from being completely focused on this narrow personal energy to this boundlessness in which everything's appearing in. But it's happening by itself, and it deconstructs, and it might seem like you're understanding it, but it's not you understanding it. It's less ideas that are fogging the way, or less ideas which are being looked through. Therefore life is just appearing and disappearing. But then the interpretation is, I understand it, but it's not you that understands it. Understanding will go. You know nothing. Your ultimate nature is innocence. Like, the Adam and Eve and the eating the apple. Their nature is innocence, and then they eat the apple of knowledge and they believe they know something. They believe they're naked. Before that, they didn't think they were naked, they just were.
it is not, maybe I put it in the other way, like maybe I didn't put it in the right way.
Yeah.
It's not like I know that I don't exist. I know that whatever exists and whatever comes in me, whatever I would call me, it's not real.
But you don't know this. There's nobody there, Anna. Who would know it?
Because I have this feeling of not reality of the thing. I understand it's a thought.
But who understands it's a thought?
A thought, kind of.
Yeah, thoughts coming up quickly and claiming it. What's happening though, because you've most probably been listening to the subject, or there's some deconstruction happening there, and there's less activity in that person.
Yes,
But
definitely.
you can't know this. It's appearing in silence, it's appearing in stillness, it's appearing in not knowing all these thoughts. And what I'm pointing back to is that in which the thoughts are appearing in, not an intellectual thought, not an intellectual thing that's arising in it, not a thought that's arising in it.
I understand.
It's sweet that you say you understand. It's the opposite way round. You're losing yourself. But I understand that that's the interpretation.
Then I don't understand, because I think there is nobody to understand.
Yeah.
However, the understanding is there. Is that a...
I would say it's a lack of knowledge is becoming more evident. I'd say it's always the opposite. And the reason I say it the opposite way round is because it's so easy to believe, for the thoughts to come up and present that they know something about non-duality. And we're talking about absolute innocence here. And then the intellect comes up as a part of functioning, not as a reality anymore.
I see.
But the stuff with the other people will dissolve when it dissolves. I mean, that's the way it is for most human beings, is that they feel uncomfortable with other people because they feel they have to present themselves, and then society has set up this. It's not society, but in society, most relationships are very neurotic. They're about being something. You know, you go and meet up with a friend, and it's about presenting yourself to them, and then presenting themselves, who you are to them, and them to you. It's like an odd social dynamic. So most people do feel uncomfortable in that because they've got to be something. And that person's got to be loved and lovable.
Is it possible that I, in a way, pick up on their feeling?
Their feelings are your feelings. There's no two.
I see. Is it possible that it's like a flood that I cannot stop, in a way? Like, because I felt like I had a shield before.
Yeah.
Completely went down, and all the... Well, I had enough of crap of my own. I owe to everything, really. But it seems like everything from outside...
Yeah.
Into me, but there is no me, so maybe that's a story too. So
it's not coming to you. It's just that the person's getting thinner, so therefore, there's less ideas which are stopping everything, because all their neurosis, all their anger, all their love, all their joy is appearing in this, and it's not you as a you. It's in this aliveness, this beingness, and it's all a dance of energy. So it's not that if they feel uncomfortable, you'll feel uncomfortable. It's all one dance of energy. If there's discomfort, it's not separate from each other. Everything's...
Say it's real. This energy that other bodies produce is real, and it's like felt.
But it's not separate from you, or there's not a you there that's separate from them. I don't know how to put it into words. It's as much you as the feelings of Anna. It's all the same thing.
Could you say that again?
So whatever energetic or whatever the other bodies are presenting are the same movement and energy as Anna. It's all one thing. It's all happening in aliveness. They're not outside of you. They're not outside of I am. I know I'm saying you at the moment. It's just because it begins to get so complicated to say the not you. Beingness. It's all in beingness. And that's the nature. There's only one beingness, one aliveness. And then that their energies might make the body feel so another body's energy might make Anna's body feel a certain way, but that's all peering in freedom, and you aren't Anna's feelings. Oops. Sorry,
Yes,
Anna, I lost you a second there. Don't know what happened.
I don't know, it got disconnected somehow. I had, what I was saying, I have like an image in my head of a Christmas tree
Yeah.
with a lot of different lights,
Yeah.
and every light thinks he's separate.
Yeah.
It's like with those feelings that we have different emotions and things.
Yeah.
And can I have another ask another question?
Of course, yeah.
I do feel like I'm going through that process of falling apart. And you know, as much as I suffer every time a chunk of me coming out or falling apart, I'm so grateful and happy when it does, because it's like, but I don't know who's bothered by that.
Yeah,
actually.
and who's going through the process? That's just a thought arising now in absolute stillness. So it feels like you're going through a process and it feels like you're losing things, but even that's just an idea coming up and peering in freedom, always in this stillness, this freedom. But the energy does seem to move, although it's a seem to, because we're not really sure, from this narrow, contracted me, time-bound story to this boundless aliveness, which is everything and nothing. It's amazing, isn't it?
I don't know yet, because I don't seem to feel that joy that people describe when they're almost done or done with the process. I really feel
That's just thoughts. That's just a game the mind's playing.
but I really don't feel that, or I'm not supposed to feel that. What do you
Well,
mean?
it's just your interpretation that you'll experience and your expectation of what it will be like. It is as it is always. And there's nobody that ever gets liberated, really. There's just an end of something that was never really happening. So your mind's now playing the game of liberation is joy, and I'm not there.
Oh, because I hear people that saying it's all love, and they're so happy and grateful for every moment, and I just don't feel that.
Well, that's what's happening though. But your mind will make it into a story of you're not liberated, which is bullshit. It just comes and goes. Even the idea that you don't feel it, it's just all appearing. It's all just happening.
So that's how my liberation looks like.
Well, it's not even your liberation. That's just what's happening. Is that it doesn't feel joyful. That's just it. But that's even an interpretation of the experience, and it's not really the experience itself. But the stories just go, so I'm not feeling joy, I'm not there, or whatever it is, and they just appear and then they disappear, and then it's drinking tea. Still the same aliveness. There does seem to be an energetic shift from living in a bound story to freedom, but your mind will play on this for ages, for as much as it can, on the idea that they've got something that I don't.
So would you say that everyone is liberated?
Everything is liberated all the time. Everything is liberation. Everything you look at, every angry person, happy person, sad person, every chair, every bug, every insect, everything is liberation. It's just the humans play this game of dreaming. It's not even a physical thing, but dreaming while the body's awake that they are something in time, and then this tight energetic contraction happens in the body with this dream of me in time. But it's even happening in liberation as well. It's just a functioning that the human seems to have of it perceives the body, and then it goes into perceiving the most pleasurable situation for the body, and then suddenly it's in this game of hide and seek, trying to always grab onto pleasure, which it never can, because there's no start and beginning of anything, so there's nothing that you can hold on to. It's all moving.
So is there anything to be known that unites all of us?
Is there anything to be known that what?
that unite all of us, like, because we were never actually separated, so
No, but while the dream of the separate person's there, it will seem like everything's separate. When that dissolves, then it won't seem like everything's united, but there will be, because that would be a thought, it will just be oneness. It will just be as it is. It just, but it won't. It'll be the end of two-ness, but it won't seem like everything's united because that will still already be in a story. That would be an interpretation. It'll just be this stillness with everything appearing and disappearing in it. There'll be no sense of where I am and where the world is. It's just as it is.
so I would be the stillness. Is that what?
It's not that you are the stillness, although I am kind of saying it in some ways. It's not you as a story in any way. You're not taking any stories or characteristics or feelings or sensations with you. But all there is this stillness and movement.
Did I understand right?
Yeah. What?
Stillness is that carries everything.
Yeah, the stillness, the aliveness, whatever words you call it. It's right here, the stillness. Everyone's so scared of it because it's an emptiness.
Yeah.
And the mind's always covering up in activity of looking. This absolute emptiness that's here, with this fullness, this full-on colours and expression, but there's also emptiness. And it's not that the emptiness or the fullness unites, it's just that when the mind activity's gone, it's as it is, not two.
It is a little bit confusing for me to understand, because you're saying the mind activity, when the mind activity is gone, because to perceive anything is still mind activity.
No. The mind activity is the interpretation.
For example, if I see a chair and call it a chair,
yeah, then you've interpreted it. But but there's a seeing without any interpretation that happens. That's not mind activity. It doesn't belong to the brain or the mind.
But do you still recognize the objects?
No, that's what non-duality is.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing? But that's happening all the time. But the focus is always on the storytelling, which is trying to make sense of everything.
Amazing.
But do you now recognize the computer as a computer? It just is. Then the mind comes in to try and make sense of everything. I'm talking to Lisa through a computer. I know where I am, rather than just free fall of it all appearing in innocence. It's what it's like for all the animals. They have no intellect, so it's just appearing in innocence, disappearing. Not right, nor wrong, nor good or bad. But the human does also have this intellect, and when it needs to be used, it will be used. So the human still has the functioning to be able to perceive how to open a drawer or cook something. But the world's no longer seen through that. It's just empty and full.
I had a small experience of, I really understood, and I don't know who understood. I have no idea. But I understood that I don't need to know anything in order to be.
You were free. You were free as a kid, and you knew nothing then. There was just wonder as a kid.
I really don't need to know anything in order to exist.
Nope, it's so sweet. Even as a dog.
That was a liberation for a short while, and then my mind, went for the brain food again to shoot on some idea. Oh. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Anna. Nice to speak with you and finally have volume.
Oh, I'm so happy we were able to talk today. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Anna.
If it was too long.
No, it was perfect. It was really nice. It wasn't going into too much of personal stories. Not if that happens, that's what happens. But it was nice.
No, that's okay. You stop me because I can talk about my stories for hours. It's good when we focus on the.
Is it a lot of people can,
Well, because it seems so special, that's what to me, that's way to glorify me again.
Yeah, and then there's so much more happening than this tight little me, but and it does kind of seem like it has a lot of relevance when it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anna.
Have a nice talk. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. I just have to go pee pee. Oops. And you guys get a Lucy Lou. A Lucy Lucy. Is it pooping? Is it pooping? Is it poop? Is it pooping? Is it pooping? Is it poo? Is it pooping? Is it poo? She's just had a dinner, so I can tell everything about this dog. So you can tell that she's eaten because she's exhausted now, and she's not. She's being submissive because I'm master, but she's like. She's not being puppy-like, she's exhausted. Is it Poopy? Can you be a paw, sweetie? Bob, please. Bob, please. Good girl. Good girl. Is it Poopy? I can just tell by the position of her ears. She's in digest. She just had a huge bone. A cow's bone, I think. Okay. Hi, Ricarda. Oh, yeah, that's nice that I see you next week. So she says, joke of the evening, I understand. All those words feel like me begging for something to hold on to. I like your energy today. It's so radical. Stan, beautiful widescreen. New laptop or Paul's? No, I've just got it on a different setting on Ustream, Stan. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a new. They gave me different options. I think Ustream's improving. Hi, Simon Joseph. Watching you right now on Ustream. Very nice, Simon. If this is your first time, then you can write questions in here, or you can write to me and ask me to call you, and then I'll call you and we can chat. So I've just given you the answer, Simon. Hi, Nicholas. Hi, Nick. Hi, Paul. Oh, hey, Paul. Look at your big lips giving the kiss. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you again. Love you all, Paul. Yeah, nice to see you. I had such a nice time in Vienna. It was 28:30. Lovely food, lovely talks, lovely venue. It was so nice. Hi, Jose. Hi, Mark. Hi, Peter. Hey, Peter. So you're Peter from that was at the weekend talks? Yeah, you are. Oh, so I thought I knew you. I'll send you a high five. Hi Lily. Hi Lisa, I'm wondering, should I do a video call or just call? So even now we're not choosing to do this. The story just goes like this, and when it's time to drop the small self, then it will drop by itself. Yes. Hello?
Hi.
Hi Lily.
Hi, Lisa.
Can I just get you to turn your video off?
Sure. I'm not sure if I should use video or not.
Yeah,
So,
and it's best not to, just because my internet can't cope with it.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh.
How to turn off?
Can I just get you to turn your video off? Nice dog. Is this your dog? Oops.
Sorry, am I still...
That's great, just like that. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not sure about this. You stream, I should turn off the volume?
Yeah, turn off the volume, but if it's an ad, you might have to just turn it off, because the ad will...
That you're entitled to.
Yeah, the ads.
Just will come on.
Okay. I... What should I say? I always feel like I'm not prepared when
Yeah.
I turn. Yeah, this dropping of this ego. I don't know how to say it. It seemed to be that I'm doing it. So right now, I kind of understand it's not me that is doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like just the energy goes. That's just the way right now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And then it appears that in time that my ego or my small self will disappear, and that's still a story. Right?
That's still a story, and I mean, it's dropping ultimately here, right now. There is absolute silence and stillness with the forms appearing as well. There's freedom here, but this activity of the person is always popping up new thoughts and new ideas, and the energy stays contracted and narrowly focused on this person that feels like it's choosing and doing life, and it feels like it's choosing liberation, or it's choosing to listen to this. But that thought, I'm going to choose to listen to Lisa, or I'm going to choose to go and meditate, is appearing in something, and it is that something too as well. It's appearing in this freedom or nothingness, this endlessness or eternity or stillness, whichever word you're going to call it. It's not the source of things, it's an appearance. It's so obvious that a choice appears, and therefore, because it appears, it can't be the creator. The creator is no thing. It's not a thing that you can ever find or label. It's beyond that. But it's something. If anything appears, then it can't be the creator, because it's appearing in this. And the creator is no thing and everything. It's not one thing. But the thought, the personal energy feels like I'm doing something. I'm moving the body. And that's an absolute lie. And even science is proving this now, that the urge to move the body is recognized in the brain before the conscious thought comes up and goes, I'm going to move and get some food now. It's always an afterthought. But even so, even if we look at it scientifically in the world of appearances, because even that's in the world of appearances, it's still appearing. It's appearing in something. And it's not that something knows it. That's the traditional way of teaching Advaita, that something knows the appearance of the chooser. But it's not that something knows it, because that's still something separate in a way, something that knows it. It's the fact that it's appearing and moving. There's no solid entity there. It's been the biggest con ever.
Well, then
There's
the energy is still there, and seem to like trying to find a way to drop this energy.
So and it's like a hamster in a ball. Like the hamster's running, and it's the hamster's just running round and round and round, and there's still this movement of looking and trying to get somewhere, and that movement will dissolve when it dissolves. And it's just like a, like a plant. The plant grows up towards the sun. That's what the me energy is like. It's just like it's an energy that's just got overexcited, and when it's ready to dissolve, and when that energy pops, or when it's ready to crumble, just like when the plant grows and then it finally gets to its peak and then it dissolves again, the personal energy will. But even again, that's a story. This is just words appearing in freedom. But for some reason, we're communicating in this dualistic way.
Because this me still feel like I'm not there, and how can I get there?
Yeah, and there won't be any freedom found in that.
When I hear you and like your story goes, that seem to be like your Lisa is no longer there, and to this Lily individual seem to be very attractive. And I want to get there too. So it just
goes round and it goes round in its little ball, and then that will stop, and then there's laughing or drinking tea or watching TV or listening to music, and that little story pops up again and says, okay, Lisa's got it, I don't. But who are both of those people? Who is Lisa and who are you? And it's so nonsense, my story. I do tell it sometimes, but it's so nonsense. It's just words, sounds, music appearing in this, just like the bird tweeting. But the birds don't take their tweets seriously. They just tweet. They're like, tweet, 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 tweet. But the humans take their tweets seriously, and they're like, that's who she is. She's a tweet. She's that tweet. She's that certain song. The bird is just singing. So now I'm speaking, or I tell the story of what happened with Lisa, and then everyone takes it as a reality, whereas it's just a song being played in this moment. It's just music. But it will dissolve when it dissolves, really, and it's hopeless. Like the mind activity will try and find something, but it will never get anything because there is no things.
Yeah, it's like a paradox that's so you basically can't get there.
No, you can't get there.
If there's a you, then you just can't get there. So when there's no you, and then there's
nowhere to get.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly it. The you can't get there because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's so funny. And so that's exactly it. So when there's no you, there's nowhere to get. Simple as. It's not imagining that it needs to get somewhere. The body naturally moves towards pleasure, but it's not you getting somewhere. It's just movement happening.
It's so simple.
Like, so simple.
So simple, and then this me that seemed to then such a simple thing. How come you still don't get it?
Yeah. But honestly, you won't get it. You believe that's what the mind thinks. The mind thinks I will get it one day. You're losing yourself without even knowing it. The mind can only look at it positive, but it's losing itself.
So I better relax.
Well, if that happens, I mean, you couldn't make yourself relax. You can sit there and it might seem like you can try to relax, but it will just happen, or there'll be stress or relaxation or happiness or unhappiness. Whatever will be happening is what's happening, and there's nobody doing it. It's just appearing.
Wow. Sounds like in the past I always feel like I'm controlling my life, and now it's like, wow. If I'm not controlling it, what will happen?
Yeah. And the same as always, something will appear and then disappear.
Sorry, what? Same as what?
Always. Something will appear and disappear. It's just a world of appearances. They appear, they disappear. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Lily, for calling in.
I guess, I'll contemplate it. Keep quiet.
And you can always send me a message and we can speak again.
Okay.
Thank you.
God.
Bye.
Thanks, God, Lisa. Bye.
Oops, Lisa, do you have headphones? Hello?
Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Do you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's not echoing now.
Let me sing a song, see?
Okay. Oh, that's nice. You're good.
Huh?
You're good. It's nice. It's nice. Thank you.
It's real-time internet time.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa, vamos a nuestra propia morada, vestida como una extranjera, porque andas como vagabunda en esta extraña tierra, porque andas como vagabunda en esta extraña tierra. Estos seres vivientes que te rodean, tierra, agua, aire y fuego, ningunos tuyos son, todos para ti son forasteros, vistiéndote con ellos solisa loca. Porque te olvidas de ti misma. Oh, porque te olvidas de ti, Lisa. Oh, porque te olvidas de ti, Lisa. Oh, porque me olvido de ti, Lisa. Oh, Lisa, vamos a nuestra propia morada, vestida como una extranjera, porque andas como vagabunda en esta extraña tierra. Porque andas como vagabunda en esta extraña tierra. Estos seres vivientes que te rodean, tierra, agua, aire y fuego, ningunos tuyos son, todos para ti son forasteros, vistiéndote con ellos solisa loca. Porque me olvidas tú, mi Lisa. Oh, porque te olvidas de ti misma. Oh, porque me olvidas tú, mi Lisa. Oh, porque te olvidas de ti misma. Oh, Lisa. Vamos a nuestra morada.
Sweet. I realised that you could be saying anything about Lisa, but it doesn't really matter. But very sweet. I like the way you pick the guitar. Nice.
It's non-duality.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You don't have a name, but thank you.
You can call me Lisa.
Lisa. Well, thank you, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Bye.
Bye. Hello. The mind's like a computer virus. Oh, thanks for that comment, Steve. David Miller. Happy birthday wishes to you. Thanks for sharing, so helpful. Yes. Oh, thanks, David. I don't really do the birthdays, but I quite like the presents from birthdays, so I'm not totally out on birthdays. The presents are quite a cool thing. I got an iPad, which was incredibly cool. I already got a birthday present at the weekend. Woohoo! Well, I've got something else as well, and I got a dress. But personally, I don't really celebrate it too much, but I do enjoy the presents. And it's a good time of year to have a birthday, right in between Christmas presents and birthday presents, and then 6 months later, birthday presents. Simon, watching you right now on Ustream, can I ask a question? That would be great. Hey, looks like you are on a call right now. When would it be possible for us to chat? And also, how often are you available taking questions from confused seekers like me? Hey Lisa, not very sure, but is it okay to call you now? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait for you. Hey Simon.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I just wrote down a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you.
Oh, very
I don't want
nice.
to waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I've heard from a lot of others. Let me put it this way: enlightened people, that
Yeah.
happiness, your happiness,
Yeah.
does not lie in the flow of life.
Yeah, that's from Ramesh Balsika. Or is that
I'm
from
sorry,
me?
what?
Is that a quote from Ramesh Balsika? Or from me? No, it doesn't matter anyway. But yes, that's true. That what you're looking for, the mind thinks that it's looking for pleasure, and pleasure will complete it. So, i.e., it thinks it's looking for a nice experience, the lover or the money, or a certain house situation, or a certain event, or a certain holiday, and it thinks that will do it. Or it could be something which is removing uncomfortable things. So, getting the tax returns done, or getting rid of something will be it. That will be my happiness. And it becomes obsessed with pain and pleasure. And this narrow energy grows of thinking of me as a separate somebody that's got to find my happiness. Whereas what you look for, it's not the sensation of happiness, but what you look for is what's happening. It was never in an event. The body naturally moves towards pleasure. That's its functioning. That's the way it's set up. But it's not it. Pleasure is just something that comes and goes, like everything, because there are no things, there's just movement happening of energy.
Okay.
You can always listen to this back, Simon, because it's recorded,
No,
just so you know.
no.
Yeah.
What? No. Okay, you know what? I completely understand this, that
Yeah.
happiness does not lie in the flow of
Yeah.
life. I completely understand it. Okay?
Yeah,
But the suffering is still there.
yeah. It's
So,
like an
so-
energy. What it grows. It's like a movement of energy, just like the movement of energy of a plant growing. The personal identity, which is a fake dream, is like a movement of energy that's trying to get something in the future, and that will dissolve when it dissolves. And the you doesn't need to wake itself up. It's being woken up, or the you is being crumbled or grown. You never grew the person, and you'll never deconstruct the person. It happens by itself, just like everything else. It's all one movement of energy happening.
Okay. Okay. And this is my next question is
Yeah.
this is an experience that I had a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So this is how it goes. So like a lot of spiritual people tell you, learn to be aware, be present in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, I had this experience that, when you usually try to be aware and all of a sudden, you get lost in random thoughts.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you come back into awareness.
Yeah.
So, so, so can one say that when one gets lost, when one gets lost in random thoughts, so that means awareness is, aware of those random thoughts. But then when suddenly I come back into awareness, so does that mean awareness is aware of the I thought?
No, that those kind of teachings, they don't really resonate here. I'm not trying to say that they're wrong, but the way that I speak is that everything that appears isn't it. Awareness is appearing. So you choosing to focus on thoughts or not focus on thoughts is an appearance. What will happen is the personal energy will get deconstructed, and there will be this movement from a narrow contracted person that believes that it's somebody in appearances to this boundless space in which everything's appearing. And then the character will carry on appearing, but you will no longer be that narrow character. So it's nothing to do with you sitting in awareness or watching your thoughts. That's something that's appearing in this. Awareness is appearing in this. That movement of attention is appearing in this. Who's moving the attention? And how are you moving the attention? That's just a happening. Just like the thoughts of discomfort's happening, just like the thoughts of comfort are happening. They're happening from nowhere, from this endless, empty space. You might want to listen to that back.
And this is like the ultimate question that I always want. I mean, you're the second enlightened person I have come across, and this is the ultimate question that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you suffer?
Well, firstly, I'm not enlightened. That would be impossible for somebody to be enlightened. Well, I mean, it depends on what your definition is of enlightenment. But my definition of enlightenment is the end of a full stream. And then it's like the end of that contracted energy. And I do say the end of that contracted energy is the end of suffering. So it's not that I don't suffer anymore. It's just that that suffering, contracted, bound person stops arising. But please be aware that everything I say is very limited in words. Words are very limiting and they're in opposites. But I do say that that contracted self energy is suffering. And it's a movement of energy between that boundless space in which all the appearances are appearing, which is everything and nothing, this from that narrow contracted personal self of I am somebody in a story. And then the character carries on. I'm not trying to dismiss the character, but it's an appearance. It's no longer you. It's an appearance coming and going, which has always been the way. You comes and goes. Who you think you are comes and goes and changes and moves. It's not a solid thing. So I'm kind of answered it, but in a roundabout way. I'm not going to say I don't suffer, because who would not suffer?
Yeah, that's correct. And I just had like another cool question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I lost it. I think.
No.
I just wanted to know, since I'm new to this.
Yeah.
If I need to ask, if I keep on asking, if questions keep popping up,
Yeah.
do you do the Skype call like once a week?
I do it twice a week. I normally do it the English time, BST, British Summer Time. I do it on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. BST, and Sundays at 5 p.m. BST. But you need to check my website, because when I'm abroad giving live talks, then I change the times. So most of the time it's those Wednesdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. and 5 p.m. But sometimes it changes. So do check the website beforehand. That's on the online section of the website. And with asking questions, I used to have it that people could just phone whenever they felt like, but it got too busy. So now you just have to send me a message and I'll call you when I'm ready. to
All
call
right,
it.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. My final question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would you, like a lot of, like at least, they say you have to investigate within yourself. You have to investigate.
Yeah.
So it definitely involves your intellectual mind to investigate, right? So how would you suggest? I mean, if you have any, piece of advice, how to go about it, how to investigate,
No, I don't recommend that. My question would be to you is who could possibly investigate it? Is that not just more thought activity? Who's investigating it?
Of course, that is, yeah.
But if it happens, investigation, it will happen. And there's other speakers that recommend it and don't recommend it, and I tend to be one that doesn't recommend it. But if you suddenly find yourself attracted to one that does, then that's what will appear. And there's nothing wrong with any appearances. They're all just appearances. There's nothing wrong or right.
Okay. Okay, so essentially, I'll just be what I'm doing right now. Just go out.
You couldn't be anything else, Simon. You could never be anything else. We only imagine we could be something else.
Okay.
Thanks, Simon.
It was really really nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Saw you today first time, looked and listened at you for 3 or 4 hours, and then realised that heard about you from Roger Castillo, who I met in India in March. Thank you. Love you. Okay. Peter, we had a nice time in Vienna. Yeah, it was lovely. Hi, Lars. Hi, Cristobal. Dear Lisa, I feel very confused. I just have to get a drink. Sorry, guys. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. Not knowing almost anything but desiring enlightenment. Am I escaping from a normal life? I cannot find motivation for nothing except the end of confusion. I love deeply but don't know to whom. I lost interest almost in spending time with my daughter. The feeling of becoming sickum and at the same time feels like I cannot do another thing. Please answer me if you can. Crystal ball. Christopher, I think you said your name was. Yeah. That's what sometimes happens in Christianity. I think that they refer to it as like walking through the desert. Like your mind is focused on getting pleasure and getting happiness from the excitement of hoping that you'll get it in the next achievement. So that excitement and that high. And then as it begins to realize that nothing can satisfy, nothing. I mean, what could it possibly be? And all things come and go, and you might get high from one thing and then it'll be gone, and then another thing and then it'll be gone, and it comes and goes. And then this energy's kind of still got the want to move forward and get something, but it no longer knows where to get it from, and it's kind of lost in this limbo land. That's why they say it's like walking through a desert, 40 nights and 40 days in the desert, and the Buddha sat 40 nights and 40 days under the tree, where all desires and pleasures were presented, and none of them satisfy anymore. That's the way it goes in many stories. And some it doesn't, some it just collapses, and that's that. But for a lot it does feel kind of a bit bleak for a while, and then it goes, and then there's this disappearing and disappearing and appearing and disappears. What's this? This is like a tiny drop in the ocean. Like, what is this feeling in eternity? And this is eternity. And what's a normal life anyway, Christopher? Hi, Gad. Bonsoir, Lisa. Bonsoir, Gad. Give me a slap every day, a slap to my mind. from a realized body mind, maybe there will be flowing energy that will do his work, and a slap for this joke that seems to be a joke, but it's boring actually. High sources. Her movie noticing their God's gifts and Martha, God listening, flowing, pure absolute source field. Yeah, sources. Okay. So this is Amit. If nothing survived death, either i.e. there's no causal link between any two individuals, then what is the use of spirituality? It's all going to be washed away anyways, so why try to purify that which will cease to exist? It's constantly being washed away now. But there seems to be this string that happens for the human being. For the dog, it's always being washed away. The body gets conditioned just like the plants are conditioned to grow in their environment and to their specific genetic makeup. Yeah. I know, what's the point? If you're not heading towards heaven, you're heading towards nothingness. It's all nothingness. Then what's the point? It's all pointless. It's pointless. Okay. Mariam. Hi, Mariam. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for your YouTube videos. They're awesome. I wanted to ask, what does it mean to not believe the history? I broke up with my boyfriend, and in my mind, there's so many movies. It's hopeless, Mariam. I can't make you feel better about you breaking up with your boyfriend. It hurts, and that's that. And you're going to tell me this story about how it hurts, and then it will more than likely still hurt, and it will stop hurting when it stops hurting. That's the way it goes. And you'll try your best to get out of it, and you can't. Movies like this. These memories are like automatic recordings. Yep, but they're appearing in boundlessness. There's no you that can stop them or start them or can control them. I've seen them so many times that they are losing their sense, like wasted films, and sometimes I cry, but at the same time I'm happy. Both at the same time, like if there's nothing happening, like not so real. Can you tell me a little more about not believing the history? Hugs from Chile. I don't speak very well English. You can't not believe your history, Mariam. That will stop when it stops. It will stop appearing when it stops appearing. And it will hurt, or you'll be happy, or all these different things. When that happens, there's nothing to get, is there? Thanks, Mariam. Marianne. Hi Lisa, I'm suffering from a tremendous sense of lack and feel a deep-seated personal pain. Peace. Marion. Marine. Yeah. That's what the person feels like. And sometimes it's covered by the idea that you can get it in making loads of money or showing everyone you're successful, enlightened, or got great kids. And there's this excitement and moving forward. And there's this energy to try and get that and prove that. And then other times it's just strong and there's just that sensation. And that can collapse. It will collapse in physical death. And in a way it's collapsing every moment because this is death. Right here, right now. That's the way it is until it's not. How hopeless a message. This is from Heal. So this is from the last time I answered Heal last week. Yeah, you bet it doesn't satisfy me. Sure, it's all appearances, and I'm not talking about right or wrong the way you imply. Even the total nonsense Paul talks about is totally perfect as everything is. But to stay with the appearance, Paul says in a way that Ramana is right and gave a useful tool. It's such bullshit. It's all bullshit, Paul, Chiel. It's all bullshit. You just love Tony and you want to sit there and defend Tony and argue for Tony and Tony's right. Everyone else is wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Change the record where you can't. It's just appearing. It's straight from the head, baby. There's no Tony. You still don't get that. That's your arrogance and proves there is still me talking there. But go on misleading people if you want, although I will protest until I don't. Okay, TL. What can I say to you? It's endless. They're endless messages. You criticize Tony, I criticize you. I don't criticize Tony. I really love a lot of what Tony says. But the me person really attaches to this, the side of the way Tony speaks, of dismissing other speakers. And it loves it, Chiel. How high you are sitting there criticizing me and telling me I'm wrong. What a great seat you've got up there looking down on me. It's okay. I just want to clarify. Yes, you know so much and you know how to clarify things, Chiel. You project a lot, baby. Yes. Okay. Rebecca. Hi, Lisa. I was going to write you a message, and so I was looking through my old emails to find your email address, and I found an old one, and I read it, and it was basically the same topic as what I was going to talk about this time. It just shows how far I've come. Oh, okay, so you don't have a question then. Amit, if are enlightened people, God must be awakened. But so why is he still thinking he is my body, Anton? He's not thinking anything. There's just energies appearing, giving the appearance of delusion. He don't think anything. There's just appearances. There's no him there. It's just boundlessness. Thank you for your talks. I would like to ask, how does food and diet play a role in awakening and after awakening? It's got nothing to do with awakening or after awakening. There's nothing that causes anything. There's no cause and effect. There's just one movement of energy. And eating well is not separate from all the people that eat badly and all the eating badly that came before. It's just a happening. There's no cause and effect. Find a cause. Find an effect. There are none. You can never find them. As I mentioned in my email to you, this question has often directed my explorations into the world of non-duality. It seems that there is an intelligence that reveals the non-duality of my personal self, arises along with the rest of this moment. It has become obvious to me that this natural arising intelligence alone does not have what it takes to dissolve the separation between the inner and the outer. In some additional elements like devotion or dispassion is some additional needed to bring about the collapse of this sense of personal illusion. With many loving thanks, Danzi. Who could do the devotion or the dispassion? That might happen, but there's nobody that could choose to do it. Who's the one that thinks it's choosing to do something? There's just this. It's just what's happening. Who's the one? It's appearances, appearing in boundlessness from nowhere, nothing. There's not somebody that could do devotion or dispassion. Who? Thanks, Danzi. Is there still people there? Oh yeah, there's still people listening. Feels like I was forever answering questions in my email box. Hi Lisa, I've noticed that my emotions today have been very depressed and wondered, who notices that? Who are you that notices that? I know it feels like it's you. A story appears saying, I've been very depressed today. Most people think that that's the more enlightened version of you, or the real you. I wonder if you can talk about that a bit. If that is common for non-duality speakers when they are first introduced to non-duality, could you talk a little about using magic, paganism, and its role in non-duality? Paganism's got nothing to do with non-duality, it's an appearance. Non-duality is talking about that which it appears in, and the energy swapping from I am a narrower person, I am somebody that is living in space and time, to that boundless energy in which it's appearing in. And paganism's just another appearance coming and going. Could be fun, could be annoying, whatever it is, but it's another appearance. I'm talking about that in which everything is appearing in, which is beingness, aliveness, and the energy swapping from narrow, me, limited, personal self, to boundlessness. Could you also talk about the idea of reality unfolding like a kaleidoscope? How our brains interpret a scenario such as driving to the grocery store and what actually is happening. I'm very interested in hearing you talk about that again. So all of this is just energy moving, and there's no, it's producing all these different seemingly forms, but there's actually no forms. If you were to get a microscope and look down at each object, you'd never find the beginning and end of it. It's amazing. And it's always moving, the object. It seems like it's still to the eye and to the interpretation, but this energy, this object is always changing. Some change at slower and faster rates. So some it's more obvious, like a flower, it's quite obvious the change. The body, it's a slower rate. There's no solid object, there's just movement happening. And all this energy is absolutely empty. It's not a thing, it's not something appearing. So it's like this energy moving to all these different forms. The person, though, is just living in a very narrow world of cause and effect. I did this, therefore there's that. That's an absolute lie. I did this, took everything that's ever happened, all the way back to the Big Bang, which is nothing, to happen. It's like the kaleidoscope. Where does it begin? Where does something begin to turn? Where's the cause and effect of the kaleidoscope? You can never find it. You can never find the effect. It's always in movement. You can never find the cause, but there's this beautiful movement and patterns and colours appearing. Thanks, Leslie, for your question. God knows what you asked and what I answered, but came out like the turkey. Okay. So Sources says, it's sort of funny that Lisa means God is satisfaction. No, I didn't think that's what Lisa meant. The body-mind does indeed feel like a clear streaming force, brightly and purely what it is, in total oneness, frictionless freedom. No, actually, I don't think that is what Lisa means. It does mean something like that about God, but it's not God is satisfaction. Yeah, it says stuff like devoted to God. I think it means different things in different religions. Yeah, devotion of God or God's promise. Funny. Ori. Hi, Ori. Hi, Lisa. I get what you're saying. Do you now, Ori? Let's just restate that a little bit and say, you think you get what I'm saying. Everything magically appears, but should I take your word for it? Should I believe you? My mind, the way you describe reality is just one way of many theories. Can you suggest some sort of inquiry or anything so I can see what you're describing with my own eyes? Or is it simply another thing that will or will not happen? What cause could I possibly give to affect this? How could I possibly do that? How could I possibly find a cause in this to make this effect? I'm sorry, Ori. I can't do that. I do not know. I don't know when anything begins. How could I find the beginning of you seeing this? Hi, Annie Anna. Christina, thanks for sharing your details with me, Divine Spirit. Hope to catch you someday, Christina. Hi, Christina. All pointless, Lily. We're not even saying I am that I am. I guess the mind will try to grab everything. I like your teaching. Well, you said you're not teaching. Anyway, love it. Sweet, Lily. And I always have to contradict myself, so I'm always sounding like a nutcase, really. Because everything I say, I'm deconstructing at the same time. It must be very confusing listening to it sometimes. But sometimes that confusion's lovely. Monsor, if you drop the illusion that you are an individual, then their energy only one consciousness. And how would you drop it? There would still be someone there that's dropped it. Hi, Lisa. Oh yes, hi. That's me. Okay. Well, that's it. Okay, this is one last one for the live talk. Thanks for being available. My question, in one of your previous talks, you were saying how you don't really want enlightenment. It wasn't what you thought it would be. I was wondering if you could elaborate on this more. Well, Kathleen, the Lisa character thought that enlightenment was pleasure. And all she imagined was getting something. Like she would understand something or she would get there. And it was the absolute opposite. It was a loss of everything and not knowing. It was a loss of everything. Oh, I got sucked into the void. I disappeared. Who would have thought? Even though I'd heard all these teachings, I still thought it was pleasure. It was all I could look at. If you don't look at pleasure, what would you look at? Pleasure, or things, or objects. Well, that's it, guys. It's enough tonight. Thanks for being better with Skype. Yeah. And still writing questions even I'm on red, but I'll do that in future. I don't think I'm going to have any live talks for the next couple of weeks because I will be in Greece. I'm back from Greece on Thursday the 27th, I think, or the 26th of June. But maybe I'll stream some of the Greece. So look on my website because I'm not sure when the next live talk will be. And I will put it on my website and on my Facebook page. But it's certainly, I don't think it will be the regular times for the next couple of weeks. And next week, I will be in Greece. I think there's still the 1 or 2 places left. So if you want to join us, then you can find the details on the website. That's it. Lots of love. Bye.